So a couple of questions for your CEO hat now. I feel like I got to
Yeah,
know the founder hat pretty well, the
sure.
CEO hat. What is, how do you deal with the loudness that comes from um, investors complaining or not satisfied? How do you deal with that?
Um, so it's been a journey. Certainly in the early days, I was so affected. I was so connected. I was so, engaged from the standpoint of, oh my God, what's happening? Why isn't the stock going up? We're a great company, or I think we are. And that has changed to saying, hey, I am going to over disclose. I'm going to overshare. I am going to make sure that anybody interested in this company has the opportunity to really learn what's happening so that they're informed. From that point on, there's nothing that I can do. So that's kind of how I handle it. I
Got it.
just commit to engaging and sharing.
Got
Yep.
it.
And the rest of it just kind of rolls off me. Like for
Uh,
instance, I'll give you my favorite one.
yeah.
I get this probably once a day, literally once a day. It's probably the most frequent. There's two things that are most frequent outreach I get. One is, why don't you do a buyback? Why don't you do a buyback? And as soon as I get that question, I think to myself, okay, whoever's asking the question has no idea what the heck they're talking about. Buybacks are for large mega caps that have a tremendous amount of offshore cash and they want to repatriate it to their US investors, but they don't want to pay taxes. So you do a buyback. That's what a buyback is for. It's not for an OTC company that's in the process of raising money on its way to profitability. So I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with someone who doesn't know what they're doing. The next thing that
Hmm.
I get is the reverse split, reverse split, reverse split, reverse split. And I'm like, oh my God, like I filed corporate paperwork restricting my process to do a reverse split, at least for a period of time. So um, I just continue engagement. I dig deep to find the time to engage and train and educate and make sure people are informed.
Got it. How do you, because this is something that I mean, it's obviously our goal to become a public company. And how do you not let the day-to-day stock fluctuations affect morale of the company or you personally or those close to you?
Well, I tell everybody in the company, don't look at the stock. And I actually try not to look at the stock as well. So oftentimes I can go 2 or 3 days without looking at the stock. Usually it's shareholders or it's social chatter or it's that kind of thing that then kind of makes me go take a look.
Hmm.
And the reason is that I can't affect the day to day. I can only do what I can do. So I want the stock to go up every day. I want to be green every day. I want to have massive volume every day. Sometimes I go on and I'll look at other tickers that I think are total scams, and I'll just sit there, shake my head. I might make a call to someone else in the business with me, and I'll be like, "What the fuck is happening with that? How come
Yeah.
these guys are getting volume? This job is a joke. This guy's a joke." So
Yeah.
I'll do that. But I know that my plan and my path is the right one, and that is full disclosure, do everything right. I've got attorneys who look at everything that I do all the time. My securities attorney is my most frequent phone call every day. Anywhere up to 5 times a day, I'm on the phone with them. Hey, what about this? What about this? Making sure that we're playing within the lines. And my fear that I do that for is because when hopefully we get to do the NASDAQ uplisting, an army of attorneys that don't have our interests at heart are going to go through every single filing, every single tweet, every single video, and look for areas where they can claim that we screwed up. And there'll be shareholder lawsuits or stuff like that. So my goal is to make sure that we are as absolutely clean as possible. And it's a task.
Well, guys, I had a ton of fun learning about who Steve Reinharz is as an entrepreneur, CEO, and founder, and all the lessons that he's learned along the way. I gained a lot of valuable insights, and I'm super grateful that he was able to come onto the podcast. If you have somebody that you would like me to interview, drop their name down in the comments. I'll be sure to reach out to them. I can't promise anything, but what I can promise is that the bigger the podcast gets, the bigger guests we're going to get. So if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. And like always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you guys are curious on how I ended up working here for Meet Kevin, consider checking out the courses linked down below. I'll give you guys a super special deal. Go ahead and send me an email, mckay@meetkevin.com. Just mention that you're a podcast listener. I'll get you guys a sweet deal on the new promo that we have going on. So check it out before the promo ends. Again, my email is mckay@meetkevin.com. Send me an email and I'll get you an awesome deal on the courses linked down below. Let's get back to the podcast.